Alright, so today we're going to focus on what is a unit rate. And so our unit rate would be a rate that is down to 1. So when I'm thinking of unit rates, it's like how many miles can I go in 1 hour, things like that. So it's how much for 1, right? A rate is a way to compare, and this unit rate is how much for 1 of those. Examples would be miles per hour, or cost per pound, right? Dollars an hour. How much money do you make each hour? Beats per minute. That would be an example. Beats per minute, like your heartbeat. How many beats per minute? These are, there's tons of them, but these would be examples of unit rates. Okay, so you guys notice this word per, right? Per means a couple things. It means each, and it also tells us to divide. Okay, so these unit rates can be real simple. I think of them as like a big cheat code, because that per tells me to divide, and it like sets it up perfect. So if I was to give you this situation of, let's say, we'll just say that 9 pounds of hamburger cost $45. Okay, cost $45. So I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna find out the cost per pound, and that means the cost for 1 pound. That's the cost for 1 pound. All right, so my cost is 45. Notice that the cost goes right here. Per means divide, and it means each pound for 1 pound, and my pounds is 9. So my unit rate, this is the rate, $45 for 9 pounds. My unit rate is it in simplest form. It's how much is it going to be for 1? How much for 1? And so that 45 divided by 9, it's going to be $5 a pound. $5 per pound. Simple enough, right? Well, there's one other unit rate that you could find with this same information. So I had the cost per pound. The other one I could figure out is the pounds per dollar. Okay, so this is saying how many pounds can I get with each dollar I spend. And now this one, my pounds is 9, per means divide, dollars is 45. So this one is like the opposite, okay? It's a little bit, instead of how many dollars does it cost me to get a pound, this is saying how many pounds can I get with $1. $1 gets me how many pounds. So I have to set up my division. 45 is not going to go into 9, so I add a decimal, and I'll just add a couple zeros, bring that straight up. 45 goes into 90 twice, and that's actually going to give me 90, so I can be done. So my unit rate of pounds per dollar, I get 2/10 of a pound for each dollar. So there's 2 different unit rates for each one. A unit rate is how much for 1 of whatever we're talking about. Cost per pound means the cost divided by the pounds. Pounds per dollar means the pounds divided by the dollars. Miles per hour would be miles divided by hours. Cost per pound, right? We just did that one. Dollars an hour, dollars divided by hours. And you could do the reverse for each of these. Hours per dollar. You just have to write it the other way, and that would be how many hours do I work for $1. Miles per hour, hours per mile. How many hours does it take me to go 1 mile? Beats per minute. That's how many beats in 1 minute. Well, I could do minutes per beat. That's how many minutes does it take for my heart to beat 1 time. So there's always the opposite as well, but that is unit rates.